Listen to Matt Walsh. He was at the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, and he spoke to a lady about decentering your whiteness. Listen to this madness.
Racial justice is a particular focus of mine. Is that important to you in your personal life, to decolonize, decenter your whiteness?
Hands down, absolutely. And everything you do, you have to think about.
How do you do that on a daily basis? You get up in the morning, you're decentering.
First of all, who has access? Who's at the table? And who's in the room?
I'm gonna go a little overboard.
Yeah, go. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
If I walk into a room and there are people of color in the room, I want to literally not be in the center of the room.
Yep.
So I'm walking
Literally.
around the edges of the room.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not in the center. Not everyone goes that far.
Right. And
I'm super committed to it. So that's.
I walk in a room, I'm white, but I'm also an anti-Zionist Jew of Ukrainian descent. I'm also a lesbian. I also, identify as a dyke. So like all those things.
You got a couple more.
But
I don't have to say points, but you have a couple more points.
Right. So you have to be aware.
I have no points.
Well, no, but you have a say. And also, if you're not fighting for reproductive justice as a man, especially as a straight man.
This short clip says it all. You can see a woman that is definitely mentally ill. She is saying all these things and Matt Walsh is playing along. He is saying certain things to just extract certain things from this woman, and this woman totally falls for it, and she says things that are just so ridiculous. She's first of all wearing a mask like for no reason. Maybe she is sick or something. Okay, then in that case you want to protect people from your own unhealthy lifestyle. And second of all, they were talking about decentering your whiteness. It is so racist to the core, but people that have no purpose, they invent purpose. They need a purpose to live for, and they invent certain things just to feel special, just to feel that they belong somewhere, that they're doing something good, they are enhancing or bettering the nation or the world, while in fact they make it worse with their insanity. They will fall for anything. And I think the 20th century should give us a lot of warnings that people can believe so much nonsense. They can follow certain worldviews and religions or political ideas as if that is the answer to the problem that we face as a world. I think this is one of the examples how it was possible that people followed the Nazis, the communists, radical Islam, and the fascists, and so many other horrible ideas. If you see that people think that they need to have a purpose, they need to think that they are bettering the world, while in fact they are making it worse, then it's obvious that those people are so gullible to follow and believe a lie, because they want to be special, they want to feel special, they want to do something that is worthwhile, and instead of actually making the world better, they fall for nonsense and they spread nonsense and they create division, they create chaos, and in the end they will blame you and me for not following their insanity, but they are the ones that are actually insane. It's like literally, I don't want to be harsh, I don't want to insult people, but if you believe those things as they do, then you're literally insane. You're so indoctrinated, you're so brainwashed into believing that the world we live in today is the result of whiteness, of white racism, or they would just call it racism. While if you look at the world, it is way better than it was 100 years ago. But of course it's not perfect, but you want to make it better. But you don't do it with saying that, to decenter your whiteness. The problem in the world is your white skin, you white people, your system, your governance, your ideas as a white person that causes this problem. Hold up. If you look in the 20th century and the 19th century, the ones that made the world better were white people. And they were in cooperation with other nations, with other people that helped them to achieve a better world. So stopping slavery was an example. White Europeans, they were working together with Africans, with Arabs, with Indians, and so forth, to stop slavery and make the world a better place. But you have to change the mindset of certain people that slavery is wrong, just as abortion is wrong. You have to change the mindset, change the way the people think about it, and you have to change the narrative that they believed in. So for example, you have to make the comparison about abortion. People really think that it is healthcare, reproductive right, or what this woman just said, reproductive justice. No, it's not that. It's not justice. It's killing someone else. It is not justice when you trying to justify the slaughtering of your own baby, of your own flesh and blood. You call that justice, but that's the whole narrative. They are brainwashing you, they are indoctrinating you into believing falsehoods, just as the Nazis did, the fascists did, the communists did, the Islamists did. They want you to believe certain things that are just plain lies. It is propaganda, it is slander, it is pure indoctrination, and people fall so easily for that. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to follow that narrative. You don't have to believe those nonsensical things that this woman just said and Matt Walsh is just teasing her with. He is getting along and he is trying to get as much out of her as possible. And she totally falls for it and she says such nonsensical things. But if you have a society nowadays with people that are totally absent of purpose, when they don't have anything to do, when life is so great, especially for them, that they have to find certain things that they should complain about. And what do they find? Well, they find people that act like they are victims. They claim to be victims and they have a certain worldview, a certain Marxist worldview, and they could be white, they could be black, doesn't matter, but they have a certain worldview and they want to rearrange, redirect, restructure society into a Marxist socialist hellhole. And people like that are so gullible to fall for that because they have it so good because of the society that we and our grandfathers built, that they can actually complain about those things instead of, if you compare it to the rest of the world, especially the women in the rest of the world, they don't have it as easy as Western women have. And they are doing everything in their power to create a better world. But Western women are so brainwashed, so indoctrinated to actually think that they make the world a better place by complaining, by fighting for killing their own children, and especially killing a lot of black and brown babies through abortion. They think that that is justice, that is fighting racism by killing black and brown babies. What? You're insane, man. You're crazy. And if you say something against it, then you're the bad guy. Hold up, I want as much black and brown babies that develop as great as possible and then become great leaders and make the world a better place. And I'm a racist? You want them dead? Or you want them to live in the ghettos where the Democrats rule? But I'm the racist? It's reversed, like it's people just live in the same times, and that is because if you make the world too great for certain people, then they want to do everything to burn it down. They want to destroy the world because they want to be the ones that make the world a better place, but in fact they make the world worse. They make the world a living hellhole, and then they will still claim that they are the ones that made it great, and then they will complain and they will blame others like me, like you, that because you didn't get along with them, then you are the ones that created the hellhole while it is their worldview. Insane, man, insane. You have to fight through having conversations with these people, but you have to oppose these people. You have to talk with people. You have to convince people that what they strive to, what they want to achieve is not the right thing to do or not the result that you are looking for. That doesn't make the world a better place. And you have to convince them that they have qualities, they have sincere motives, but they are directing that on the wrong thing. They are betting on the wrong horse. They are doing the wrong thing. You don't make the world better by saying that you need to get away or get rid of your whiteness and decentering your whiteness and white people are the bad guys in the world and all those nonsensical things that they say. That doesn't solve anything. But these people actually think that. They actually think that they make the world a better place. Man, my rant goes on and on. But to be as clear as possible, we need to convince these people that they have qualities, they are great at certain things, but what they're doing right now makes the world a worse place. It doesn't make it better. And we need to do that in love, and we have to have patience for these people. They could be your grandmother, it could be your mother, your sisters, all brainwashed by universities full of Marxist professors that have their own goals and they don't protest themselves, they don't do certain things, but they use their puppets, they use their toys that they can just set in, they can pay them, they can indoctrinate them, brainwash them into do certain things that they don't want to do. It's always that way. And we have to oppose that. We have to oppose these Marxist professors, the educators, they're just indoctrinators. We have to oppose these people, and we have to be patient, loving, and yeah, just full of patience, full of love towards the people that are actually falling for these lies, that let themselves being used by bad people that have bad motives, that are actually the danger in society. It has nothing to do with white supremacists or with whiteness. No, it has to do with a Marxist, socialist worldview. These are the people that are actually anti-Christian, anti-Islamic, anti-Jewish, anti-Hindu, anti-Buddhist, and you can name them all, because they have a certain worldview that is a socialist, atheistic worldview, which belongs to the communists, the fascists, the Nazis. They are all part of a socialist grand scheme, and they are just fighting each other. And they convinced us that if you don't support the communists, then you are somehow supporting the fascists or the Nazis, while we condemn all three of them, all those three side hustles of socialism. And we don't want to be near any of those three horrible worldviews. But then these same kind of people say that if you don't agree with them, then you are one of those three. Well, we reject all of those three nonsensical atheistic worldviews, and that is how you're being played. That is how you're being indoctrinated. That is the way how they get you, because if you oppose them, then they will say you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, while you condemn both of them, and you condemn communism, the Marxist worldview. And to bring it back to the conversation, the short clip of Matt Walsh and this woman, and I think she's some kind of a woke DEI grifter that has completely accepted the DEI worldview, that says these ridiculous things. And it's sad to see a woman wearing a mask saying these ridiculous things, and then thinks that she makes a point, like she said something great, she did something good. It's so sad. That is the world we live in today. So many people have been brainwashed, indoctrinated to behave in that way, to think that way, to say these things and think that they are doing something good by calling something like decentering your whiteness, and completely think from the mindset that you're white. Like, who cares about your skin color? But they apparently care so much. But they think in that way. It all has to do with your skin color. So first of all, you always look at your skin color anywhere you go. And by that, they are looking at any situation through a lens of racism. And by doing that, they are the actual racists, because they only see skin color. So they see their own skin color and they think, because we as white people are better than black people or brown people, that's why we need to step back and let the poor black and brown people get their spaces, get their places, because they are so sad, and without us as white people they cannot achieve anything. So we just step back and we let them get their spaces, and they will take up the spaces that they want to have, because we as white people, we are so good and we are way better than them, and they cannot do it because of their merit, because of their skills, but because we let them. That is the actual message that they give us, that black and brown people cannot get to the spaces, to the positions in society, unless white people give it to them. Well, that is actually racist. That is actually thinking and sending the message that you as a white person are better than a black and a brown person, which is insanity, it's insane, it's ridiculous. But these people actually believe that. And they say that you're the racist because you oppose them. Hold up, now you're the racist because you actually believe that you're better than a black or brown person and that they cannot achieve anything unless you give it to them. So you're the problem. We're not the problem. You're the problem. You're DEI grifters. You guys are the problem. You make the world worse. But they have the media behind them, and they will paint the narrative in that way that people actually start to believe them, and they will call us racist. Ridiculous, but we cannot allow them to achieve, to win this battle. We have to oppose them. We have to, through love and patience, combat them and tell them over and over that they are actually the racist, the white supremacist, and they think that they are better. And we don't think that way. We're not wired that way. We're not indoctrinated that way. We see people as for who they are, and they are precious people, whatever skin color they have, and they can achieve anything if they have the right education, if they are surrounded by the right people, if they, although bad things happen to anyone, if they just keep on going on fighting for their cause and don't let white people tell them what to do, especially these white women, the Democrats that think that they are better. If you see yourself as valuable as you can be, as a person that can change the world in a good way, that isn't looking at people through skin color but through character. Who are you and what do you stand for? And are you sincere and are you honest? And are you open to feedback, open to create conversations that will improve the world? And if we truly listen to each other instead of having the mindset behind it that I'm better, and because I'm better as a white person, I will allow you to speak. What are you talking about allowing you to speak? That person has value in any way and what they are saying, and we should have the mindset that we can learn from anyone. So it doesn't matter if you're old, if you're young, you're white, you're black, or whatever skin color you are, or whatever background you have. If you have something valuable to say, then you're open to it, you're open for it. But that's not the message that we get from these white, woke women that belong to the Democratic Party, that are being totally brainwashed into being so emotional, vote emotionally, think emotionally, instead of really looking into what is really happening. What is the context of certain things that are being said by Donald Trump or by Republicans or by anyone? No, they just think and respond instead of to understand what someone else is saying. And that is the problem that we have nowadays with so many people. They think out of their emotions instead of really want to understand the other person. Like, what is the actual point of the other person? And if you do that, then you will understand other people. And that is my message to you as a listener. See people for who they actually are, what their character is, and try to learn from anyone. It doesn't matter what the background is. It doesn't matter if they're old or young or fat or skinny or popular or unpopular. It doesn't matter who you are, except when we're talking about character. And if you're an honest person, then you can learn from so many people. And then you have, of course, you have to take with you the notion that people speak from their own viewpoints, and it could be that sometimes a good message or a well-intended message is not the right message. Like, people have good motivations to say certain things, but they say certain things without not having knowledge of the context. But you have to take that with you. That being said, if you live that way, if you live by that code, by that standard, then you don't need white supremacist worldviews like the DEI, wokeness, all those nonsensical things. You look at people and you judge people by their character instead of anything else. That being said, I want to thank you for watching this video. My name is Aaron, this was Arentainment, and I'll see you in the next video.
Ashkara markamo tagodam bar tamarti fas